Hi everyone, I am Joshua Spence and today I'm excited to share an excerpt from chapter 3 of my novel Painful Affinity. In this chapter, we find Sophia, the main character, in a vulnerable moment at university. She's struggling with her inner demons, trying to find her voice in a world that feels overwhelming. This passage explores themes of self-discovery and the challenges of confronting our true selves. As you listen, think about those times when you have had to overcome your own fears or doubts. Let's dive into and join Sophia in her journey. Here it is. Here's the book, by the way, Painful Affinity. This is the hardcover, Painful Affinity. I'm going to be reading for you. Chapter 3, The Classroom. Sophia's day at university were even more challenging. She had always struggled with speaking up in lectures, her thoughts often lost in the whirlwind of others' voices. Most of the time, she preferred to blend into the background. Her presence unnoticed. But there were moments, rare ones, when the professor would ask a question that sparked something inside her, something deep and personal. And in those moments, the pull to speak felt stronger than her fear of attention. One afternoon in her literature class, the professor asked the class to discuss the themes of identity and self-discovery in the novel they had just read. The room buzzed with students eager to share their interpretations, their voices rising in a sea of opinions. Sophia sat at the back, her fingers clutching her notebook, as usual, not quite ready to join in. She had always been the quiet observer. She loved to listen, to let the conversation unfold around her. But the thought of speaking in front of so many people made her stomach twist. But then, a comment caught her attention. A student near the front had mentioned the idea of reinvention, suggesting that the protagonist was only truly free when he or she embraced change. That idea clung to her. She had thought about it before, in her own quiet way, the way she had tried, without success, to reinvent herself over the years, to be a little less shy, to be a little louder, a little bolder. Sophia's heart raced. Her hand hovered above her notebook. She could hear a pulse in her ears, but the words were already forming. Finally, in a voice softer than she would have liked, she spoke up. I think reinvention isn't about changing who you are. It's about learning to accept parts of yourself you never thought you could. The room fell silent for a beat, a few heads turning in her direction. Sophia immediately regretted saying anything. But then the professor smiled at her, nodding as though he understood, as though he saw the thought behind the words. That's a wonderful perspective, Sophia, he said warmly. A more introspective way of looking at the character's journey. Thank you for sharing that. Her face flushed, and she quickly lowered her eyes, retreating into her thoughts. But there was a quiet sense of pride that lingered inside her. Maybe speaking up wasn't as scary as she had imagined, but it still felt strange, unnatural. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, viewers, for watching. This is the book. Go and get a copy. Painful Affinity by yours truly, Joshua Spencer. Thank you. Bye-bye.